Deputy Colm,
Thank you, Laskin
Keaveney.
Corla. I'm sure that the Minister will disagree, but many of the commentators would have a view that this is a very political budget. It's a budget to try and secure votes for a general election using borrowed money. And it's a budget that is designed to reward high earners in the economy. Minister, the recent by-election in Dublin South saw an atrociously low participation rate, particularly in certain electoral areas, sometimes as low as 12% in the most deprived areas of the city. And the sad lesson that we're learning for those communities is that this budget and this government will have no doubt knowingly attack those communities because simply they do not come out and vote against the government. So, Laskin Corla, Fine Gael and Labour have little to fear in targeting the less well-off in society because their silence is well noted in the ballot box. And similarly, those who are silent because of stigma within society, those people who cannot publicly offer vocal opposition to this government as a consequence of the targeted attacks on mental health. And sadly, we've seen it in this budget, Laskin Corla. Can I be categoric that we in Fianna Fáil and I am deeply committed to the full implementation of the Vision for Change policy. However, Minister, I'm very concerned about the progress, how we are implementing that policy, and it's clear now that it's significantly slowing down as a consequence of what I described as a crass cut in last year's budget, where we had an annual ring-fenced €35 million for the recruitment of specialist staff. And in that budget, we've seen a commitment broken, a promise broken, where funding was reduced to 20 million. Now, Minister, as you're aware, Minister Lynch, your colleague, swore to this House that there €15 million would have been restored in this year's budget. And in fact, she is on record in this Oireachtas that it will be restored in the current budget. Now, to cut that budget by 40% last year was a disgrace, and it has reflected poorly on this government. And I don't see the urgency from the Minister with respect to addressing the crisis that exists. Particularly, it's clear that the Minister has betrayed that promise, and she also has shown a total weakness in defending this budget, which was ring-fenced. And it's not good enough for the Minister to come to this House and make a promise last year that she would restore what was a ring-fenced commitment to the programme for government and ignore that yesterday. I think it's unacceptable. Minister, with regard to the prior year's budgets and its spending up to 2013, there has been no significant increase in mental health service expenditure, and I'll explain it to you this way. Despite the allocations of the €35 million in 2012 and 13, it has been a flat expenditure because newly appointed staff were put in through the system only to address staff that were leaving the system due to natural wastage. And that, in essence, has resulted in the rollout of the Vision for Change coming to a standstill. Now, Minister, in terms of staffing levels, the latest published information that we have available to us is available at the end of June. And at that time, the HSE had recruited up to 727 posts in the mental health services, out of a total allocation of 1,171. However, the net increase in staffing between 2012 and June 2014 is 80 staff for the rollout of the Vision for Change. And what we see is that those staff only appear in the system as staff are leaving through natural wastage, retirement, or indeed redundancy. Minister, the doctors have repeatedly questioned the safety of the system and the governance and have accused the Minister of ignoring her. And those who criticise the Minister are often and regularly accused of acting in bad faith. And on many occasions in this House, I pleaded with the Minister to listen to the frontline staff. Minister, given the Minister Lynch's failure to defend the mental health budget and her own incapacity to be honest in her engagement with those working on the front line, I would ask her to either up her game significantly, or maybe she should stand aside and let somebody else do the job who wants to do it. Because it would appear that Minister Lynch doesn't have the heart to follow through and wholesomely roll out the Vision for Change policy which this party would proudly support.